and welcome back to Lala's World. Yes, right now I'm still in my hotel room back in Brooklyn still. Excuse my voice. It's going in and out because of all the excitement from watching WrestleMania yesterday. Some tea to wash it down. I don't know. I'm just gonna figure it out. Excuse me. So basically, this segment is based on not one but two reviews. I'm so sorry. Like I said, my voice is going in and out, so I'm gonna try the best I can to talk firmly and clearly for you guys. This one is going to be based on NXT Takeover and also WrestleMania 34 that took place in New Orleans. Before I get started, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Click on the subscribe button below. And when you're done watching this video, go ahead, like, comment, and share this video amongst others on your social medias of that nature. But before I get started, sorry again, you guys. My voice is a little jacked up. Hopefully it gets better when I get back home. First and foremost, I would like to give out like certain shout outs because I went to the Legends Bar to go watch WrestleMania with a couple of friends of mine. My first shout out I would like to say to the Jobber Tears podcast. I was able to meet 2 out of the 3 of them, Sir Wilkins and also Mr. Black himself. In addition, also I want to give a good shout out to Cruz. Cruz is a good person, whereas he hosts on his Facebook page, and I will leave the information below, the Powerbomb Wrestling Contest group, whereas you could go ahead and enter the contest of any kind of pay-per-view that deals pertaining to wrestling, and most likely the information will be there. Another person I want to give a shout out to is also Crooked Stolly. I'll leave his social media information below, whereas he has some bomb as gear that you could go ahead and shop for. I have some of his t-shirts as we speak. I have most likely his He Life t-shirt, and he also have another store called Crew Evolution Store, and also Nasty Girl Apparel. So I'll leave all that information below so you guys can check it out. Another person I want to give a good shout out to is my boy Elijah. Whereas he's a wrestling fan like me as well. So if Elijah, if you're watching, big shout out to you as well. But let's go ahead and get started. And like I said, I do apologize if my voice is going in and out. It's all from the excitement from yesterday from watching WrestleMania at the Legends Bar. I was hella loud, so I do apologize. So let's go ahead and get started with NXT Takeover. NXT Takeover was, I'm going to say it was the bomb.com. I know Triple H was somewhere in the back, proud, in tears, like that's my children, that's my babies. Whereas you have Dusty Rhodes, the late great Dusty Rhodes is looking down saying like, you guys are doing it. Now we can go ahead and get started with the 6-man ladder match. Now let's keep in mind, before all this started, Adam Cole got in word that he was going to have to do the ladder match first before his tag team match, for not only for the tag team titles, but also for bragging rights for the Dusty Rhodes Classics. He was not too happy with that, so he was like, oh my God, I need to figure this out. Now, with the 6-man ladder match with Velveteen Dream, Lars, EC3, Killian Dane, and the one and only Ricochet with Adam Cole, that match, you couldn't tell who was going to win. First, it showed like EC3 was having it. Then you have Lars and Killian Dane. Those two are monsters. But the way most likely, I think you guys must have heard, I said it in a previous video of mine, but Killian Dane, as big as he is, that man can move. Velveteen Dream, I thought he was going to win because I know I haven't seen him lose in a couple of takeovers. Except for one against Aleister Black. But, that kid has potential, so I figured he was going to win. And with EC3 and Ricochet, I felt like it was too soon. Adam Cole, I saw him as a second choice of winning, but throughout the whole match, Adam Cole, like throughout all the beatings that he was taking, Adam Cole was able to go ahead like a thief in the night, and the way he did it, everybody was laid out. He climbed up that ladder and got that title, the North American title, so big props to him. The next match I want to bring up is the match with Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon for the NXT Women's title match. The whole thing was that Ember Moon slipped up a little bit in the beginning, but then she held her own, and she was giving Shayna Baszler a dose of her own medicine where she stomped out her arm and made her pop her shoulder. Now this part was a little creepy. How in God's green earth Shayna was just like banging her arm towards the ring post to pop that shit back in. That was weird. That was creepy. I was like, girl, do what you need to do. Throughout the end of the day, where Ember Moon gave it all, Shayna Baszler ended up walking away and ended up winning, and ended up, winning by submission. Now the next match after that segment with Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon, we had the NXT Tag Championship match along for the bragging rights for the Dusty Rhodes Classic. The problem was Adam Cole took so much of a beating, they had to wrap his ribs around with some tape. And you see like O'Reilly telling the medic like, yo, can we just cancel this match? Because him himself was just like, yo, I don't think this is going to work. Can we cancel it? They couldn't cancel it, so the show must go on. Now, throughout the match, Authors of Pain, there's some big dudes, so I would never count them out. They held their own. But then when you have Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, and you also have, Roderick Strong, he is like, there's a saying, always the bridesmaid, but never the bride. That's who Roderick Strong reminds me of. It's no shade. It's the God honest truth. You got him, so it's like, okay, cool. Then you have Adam Cole limping to the ring, trying to figure this out, and then you have O'Reilly. Now, throughout the match, it looked like O'Reilly was gonna have to do this on his own by himself, but as time progresses, when it was getting towards the end, you had Pete Dunne covering O'Reilly. What happens? Roderick Strong said, that, and gave O'Reilly the win. At that time, you see Adam Cole, because that time Adam Cole got slammed onto the table. He looks up, smiling, as if, oh my God, he's the real MVP. And by the time O'Reilly came to, got his belt, and then he's sitting down in the ring. Adam Cole sitting there. They're just looking at Roderick Strong, trying to figure out, okay, what's going on. But Adam Cole had this smile on his face, like, yo, he did the right thing. O'Reilly was trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden, when Roderick Strong took Adam Cole's band that had the Undisputed Era logo, put that on with some pride, they say, hey, the man crossover is along the lines of, you can't beat him, join him. So in my opinion, I'm not mad about that. It's, if you can't beat them, join them. It happens. The next match I wanted to talk about, and I knew I had so much faith in this match. The match with Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Amos, accompanied by Zelina Vega. This is what I thought it was going to be a lost cause for Aleister Black, because Zelina kept interfering every step of the way, just like she did in the other match with Drew McIntyre, also with Johnny Gargano, and it was still a mess. But the last time she was getting ahead of herself, she was trying to jump from the podium. She got caught. She jumped, and then Andrade ended up catching her, and that gave Aleister Black gave him the right to say, hey, you're going to fade to black. Boom, you're done. Now he's the NXT champion. Zelina's sitting there having a temper tantrum. I said, look, you a little girl. You let these grown men play. At that time, you should have sat down and mind your business. But she got ahead of herself, and look what happened. And then this last match, I'm going to say this was on some, and Amaro said it from the commentary, like this is like Cain and Abel. This was like some Cain and Abel mess. I'm going to tell you why. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were great friends. They had a great tag team called DIY. But, you know, Ciampa, I'm sorry. Ciampa messed up his ACL, so he was out for a good minute. So when Johnny Gargano was out there making a name for himself, Ciampa didn't like that. He came back and tried to like torture him to the point he cost him his job at NXT. And Johnny Gargano was like, no, we're not doing this. I need my job back and I need to kick this dude's face in. So now we have this match. And this match was like, whereas it was going tit for tat, nobody was not backing down. But as time progresses, you know, Tommaso Ciampa was torturing the crap out of Johnny Gargano. It was scary, and it looked like Cain and Abel. But in this case, the way it ended was like Johnny Gargano was looking at him and was like, it was like a reenactment. And if you watch the Cruiserweight Classics, the tournament, you'll see what I'm talking about, where they had that moment where they were sitting down in the ring. But what happened was Ciampa took advantage and was trying to hit him with the brace that he was wearing. Old boy Gargano ducked and most likely, you know, was able to get him in by submission. Now the referee who was in that match was the same referee, was the one who counted the 1, 2, 3 that caused the Gargano to lose. So I know during that match he had like a little smirk here there, like, you know, finally there's some like freaking mercy. And then at the same time it was unsanctioned. So anything that was going down that match, we couldn't stop it. It was just the ref responsibility to just do 1, 2, 3 and that's it. So Gargano ended up being the winner and he ended up getting his job back at NXT. So props to him, and hopefully everything, you know, works out for him while he's at NXT. But other than that, with NXT Takeover New Orleans, I'm going to say that I will give this one, if I wanted to give it a grade, I will give it like an A-. I'll give it an A-. For this overall. Like, they brought in the air game, like all these NXT people brought in the air game, and the storyline was so strong. So I'll give them like an A-. Now let's go ahead and talk about WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania 34, it started out with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal with all guys from SmackDown or from Raw. I mean, I saw some people who been come back like Mike Bennett. He had recently had a baby with Maria Kanellis. Their baby name is Federica Freddie Bennett. So, and their baby's pretty, and they had a baby like right after Miz and Maurice had their baby. So I know they're gonna probably be awesome playmates. In addition, throughout that Andre the Giant Battle Royal, when it came down to it, who was left in the ring was 2 former Andre the Giant Battle Royal winners, Baron Corbin and Mojo Rawley, and then you see Matt Hardy, his crazy self. So all of a sudden, it was about to go down until you just see everything fade to black, and then you see the weird stuff. We see Bray Wyatt in the ring. We're like, oh, holy hell, what's going on? Turn around, you see Bray Wyatt just attacking Mojo Rawley and also Baron Corbin. And then Matt Hardy was able to have the upper hand and win the Battle Royal. At the end was very, like, I would say the beef was squashed. The war is done. Whereas between Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy was that they was, you know, eye to eye, face to face, and they gave each other a hug, and they was able to reunite in the ring. So I myself was proud, and I know I saw that coming. Now this next match, I would say it was kind of emotional because it's two friends that wants the same thing, but you know, like in Highlander, there could only be one. So we're talking about Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. So the heart of 205 versus the soul of 205 for that cruiserweight title. Now these two was bringing it. I'm still in shock why they was in the pre-show. They should have been up there with, you know, the main card up in WrestleMania. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. And some of their moves were like clean. Like, first off, before I can even start about their moves, let's talk about Mustafa Ali showing up looking like Sub-Zero. He had like the face, he had like the little hand thing. It looked like so cool. So I give him props for that outfit. It was nice looking, I'm not even gonna lie. Then you have Cedric Alexander. When he came out, you know, everybody greeted him. But throughout that match, they brought it. Like, nobody was not willing to lose. Even when Mustafa Ali did that Spanish fly move, holy. When I tell you it was clean, it was clean. So, whereas Cedric Alexander, like, he had the upper hand and everything like that, what happened was that he felt like he couldn't do it, but he know it had to be done. So when he gave him that his move, his final move, that backbreaker move, the lumbar, what happened was he counted the 1, 2, 3. After that 3, he just gave Mustafa Ali a hug. No, he hugged him while he was giving him the 1, 2, 3. Like, you remember that reenactment where Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair was going at it? Oh, and I do apologize. Like I said, I'm staying in my hotel room, so housekeeping is vacuuming outside of my room. So I do apologize for that if you hear that. You remember when Ric Flair put his career on the line against Shawn Michaels? And what happened was Shawn Michaels gave him the sweet chin music, and then when he counted the 1, 2, 3, he gave him like that hug on his head. So it was kind of like that. And I understand, like, hey, that's, you know, you're my friend, but I need this title because I've been through it all. So whereas, you know, oh God, I'm gonna get his name wrong. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna call him by his other name, Rockstar Spud, because that's how I remember him as. Rockstar Spud, the GM for 205 Live, came to the ring to award him the title. What happened was, it was just like a tearful moment because it was just like they hugged each other out of respect, got the title. You know, now you know 205, the soul of 205 is the one that's running, is now the face of 205 Live. Now he has the cruiserweight title. So congrats to Cedric Alexander. That match was off the chain, and it was on point. Now let's talk about the women's battle royal. God, I gotta sip on this. So the women's battle royal, you see Becky Lynch come out. The way she stood there, everybody knows who Becky Lynch is and how her entrance is. There's smoke. Her outfit was nice, her makeup was nice, her hair was nice, but there was no smoke. And she's standing there like, where's the smoke? I was like, oh, poor baby. Poor baby. So now her music stops, and then we hear the WrestleMania theme song by Kid Rock. And you see all the rest of the women coming down. Like, we saw Lana, we saw some of the women from NXT, Natalia, I'm gonna say Carmella. Who else did I see? Carmella, Absolution, because Paige was in the commentary, also along with Beth Phoenix. Absolution. Who else? Carmella, Natalya, Absolution, the women of NXT, Naomi. Coming down, we're like, okay. Then we hear Bayley's music come about, and it's like, it looked like they didn't take that much time with her outfit. It looked like they just took a piece of fabric and just put some strings on it. It's like, here you go, go. And then when it was time for by the time we knew Sasha Banks was coming, was after the promo commercials, and we see Sasha Banks coming down, walking down the aisle, wearing some bejeweled blazer. Like, you know when back in the day when you was like a kid, you get like the bejeweled set and you put it on your jeans jacket? Yeah, it looked like that. No shade, but it's the God honest truth. So we saw that. So throughout the whole battle royal, it looked like a high school jumping. First they jumped Carmella because also Dana Brooke was there too. They jumped Carmella because she was a Miss Money in the Bank, so she was the first one to go. Then they tried to jump Dana Brooke because Natalya pushed her in there, so she went after Natalya, but that didn't work. They jumped her, kicked her out. Then somehow poor Kairi Sane got pushed in there, and they was gonna jump her, but that's when the rest of the girls from NXT stepped in, was like, nah, y'all not finna jump my friend from NXT, what is we doing? So it was just like, bat. The only chicks that was standing left in the ring was the chicks from NXT. And this part, all I could think of is like, Triple H is somewhere in the back, again in tears, while he's getting ready for his match, like, that's my babies. Like, all jokes aside, I know he's back there proud right now because those NXT women held their own. And it was a lot going on in that ring until, whereas I know some people got eliminated as we thought. Just remember, people got eliminated as we thought. I don't know what happened, but I know when Absolution got eliminated, Paige was quiet throughout the commentary. Because all she think about was like, dang, both my bitches are gone. So it's like, yeah, so you're quiet. Then now, Sasha and Bayley is left in the ring. They're going at it. No, they didn't even go at it. Sasha was trying to be nice to Bayley. For some reason, I guess Bayley had a flashback and threw that bitch out the ring and thought she won. So we like, oh, okay, she won. You turn around, you see Naomi standing right there with a smile on her face. And she like had this smile on her face like, hey, bitch, I didn't get eliminated. Just like I said, people got eliminated, so we thought. I was like, I didn't get eliminated. I was just taking a nap. All of a sudden, them two went at it, and Naomi became a winner. So that match was awesome. And, it was great. Now it's like, whereas they pushing the envelope for women's, wrestling now, whereas like you have to be a pretty face to be known to wrestle. Now let's go ahead and talk about this triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. First and foremost, with Seth Rollins, The Miz, and Finn Balor. I don't know if the theme was Mortal Kombat or New Orleans or Mardi Gras, because then I saw Seth Rollins doing the whole Sub-Zero thing, the blue eyes, the outfit. I'm like, what's going on? Then we saw The Miz. Now The Miz, he had this long red coat and these like bug-eye shades. And I remember my friend Elijah was like, he coming down the aisle looking like Ermac. I started rolling. I started being weak. And he was coming down with the Miztourage. But he told him like, nah, I got this. Way in the back. I got this. So we thinking, alright. If they coming out there looking like Mortal Kombat characters, okay, let's see what Finn Balor got come on as, He's like the Demon King, so why not? This man came out here looking like Johnny Cage. He had on the black leather jacket with the with his logo on the back, but it's a rainbow logo. And then he had like the people from like the LGBT group over there, because I think that's what he was supporting. They was there, and that's how he came, leather jacket and his wrestling gear. And I was like, this dude coming out here looking like Johnny Cage. All he needed was the sunglasses, and he was good. So that match was straight tit for tat. I know there was a certain part of a match that it was like history was going to repeat itself, but Finn Balor was like, hell nah. When Seth Rollins was about to throw Finn Balor towards the audience podium, that's when, if you remember SummerSlam, when they had the Universal title, Finn Balor only held it for one day because his shoulder was jacked up because of that move. So he avoided that, at that match. And it was like, whereas Seth Rollins, well, The Miz, I thought The Miz was going to retain. I'm not even gonna lie. This dude was just giving out DDTs. He was giving out like, his famous moves, whatever. But it still didn't work, because then Seth Rollins ended up retaining with the 1, 2, 3, and now this man is now the Grand Slam champion. So congratulations to Seth Rollins for having the Intercontinental title and also being a Grand Slam champion. So now you up there with your buddies, Dean Ambrose and also Roman Reigns. Now let's go ahead and talk about Charlotte versus Asuka. So we're talking about title versus streak, queen versus empress. When I tell you, and I was like, you know what, and my boy said this, boy Elijah said this, streaks die in New Orleans. I was like, no, I don't think Asuka's gonna lose the streak. Oh, I thought wrong. Because the way the match was going on, nobody didn't want to bow down. Nobody didn't want to, stand down. So it took all the way to Charlotte to give Asuka the figure 4. And all of a sudden, she tapped. And what Asuka said was, Charlotte was ready for Asuka. So, and out of respect, they hugged and called it a day. Now, throughout the whole WrestleMania, though, John Cena was sitting in the audience as a fan. It was funny. And at the same time, he looked low-key tight. He looked low-key pissed, like he's not participating. Until after the Charlotte match, we see a referee walk, running down the aisle. We're like, oh my God, don't tell me Carmelo's gonna cash in. No. This man ran to the audience, to John Cena, tells him something in his ear. He gets up and he runs back. So the only thing I can think of is like, okay, now he's going to back. He's about to get dressed. The Undertaker's here. So all of a sudden we hear John Cena's theme song, and he comes in the ring. We're waiting. Lights cut off. We're waiting. All we see is Elias with somebody's mother's robe and a scarf singing. And then I guess John Cena was about to go back to his seat, but he said something like very low-key and disrespectful. So what happened was that out of nowhere, he had, beat up Elias, and then the music came on, and then as he's walking up to the ramp, it stopped. We're like, why did the music stop? All I could think of is either somebody tripped over it or something. All of a sudden we hear, the Undertaker's theme song. No, we didn't even hear the Undertaker's theme song. The lights came, there was a spotlight in the ring. All you see is the Undertaker shit there. And then all you see is lightning. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? Lights went off, shit's gone. Then the lights came off, and all you hear is his theme song, and a dead man just showed up. And this man, I watched The Undertaker as I was a child. The expression on his face was like, what do you want? What do you want from my life? Why are you bothering me? And it's along the lines whereas a lot of people had doubt that Undertaker was coming. Like there was a certain person, I think she's like a YouTuber like me, told me, because I had on an Undertaker shirt, and was like, oh, so you think the Undertaker's coming? I was like, he probably would show up, but I know I fit the part because I really like fit the part. I looked like I could have been his valet. Like, Shorty really, and then that's why I like backfired, like, fired back at her. I was like, he probably could show up, but I know I fit the part, looking like his valet. So I have faith he's coming somewhere. He could be getting his bike ready or get his casket ready. We don't know, but I just know he's coming. So, whereas the Undertaker showed up, he was so mad. He looked pissed. I mean, I've seen Undertaker angry, but this was just like really, 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 he was mad. Like, what do you want? So he showed up. John Cena looked shook. He looked like he wanted to run back to the audience. Now, don't get me wrong. I live for John Cena. But there's sometimes, like, you don't come for people unless they send for you. And that's what John Cena did. He came for Undertaker. Undertaker showed up. He said his name so many times, like he's Candyman. Guess what? He showed up. He showed up and taught you a lesson. Pretty much. Don't come for me unless I sent for you. So he straight defeated John Cena and left. Went about his business. Now, normally when Undertaker leaves, I do get a little emotional because it's like a whole deadbeat dad situation. He just shows up for Father's Day so he can show up for the gram. But I really didn't cry this time. It was just like along the lines like, you gonna learn today. Leave me alone and let me be in one piece. So then we can go ahead. Now, after the whole situation, Cena, I don't know how he's gonna feel afterwards. I don't know. Hopefully he go do some movies or something. I don't know. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H situation. A lot of people, I mean, I was excited, but I wasn't like, woo, excited like that. But some people were thinking like the match was going to be like garbage. It was going to go left. I'm not going to lie. There was some moves that was questionable with Ronda Rousey. Because she did a lot of all these moves for a back, like a slam or something like that on Stephanie. I was just like, I'm scratching my head a little bit. But when she was doing like all these submissions and everything like that, okay, cool. Now she got her life together. Now throughout the whole match, Stephanie McMahon tried to play dirty, but it didn't work. Now, for what I saw towards the end was when Ronda Rousey beat Stephanie McMahon, and it was like, okay, now she beat Stephanie McMahon. She could stop. It's gonna take her some time though to be, treated seriously in WWE. Now, the only thing I could think of is like, hopefully they don't treat her like Brock Lesnar, but she show up when she feels like it. Let's hope they don't do that. So, big congratulations to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle could now go to work with a smile on his face and feel like he's still a man. He still have his balls. So, congrats to him. Now, on to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon's match against KO and Sami Zayn. So, Shane McMahon shows up. He hugs the family. He sees kids. His wife. Daniel Bryan shows up. And then you hear KO's music, because KO's going to come in with Sami Zayn. No! KO and Sami Zayn attacked them from behind. And they was giving, KO and Sami Zayn was giving Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan the business. But they hurt Daniel Bryan so bad that they was going to have him carried out in the stretcher. Like, they had officials came. But what was hilarious was Sami Zayn is going at it with Shane McMahon's kids. I think what happened was he threw Shane McMahon against like the podium where like the audience is at. And like Linda McMahon got startled, so she moved like the youngest kid out the way. And Sami Zayn is like yelling, screaming at like the middle child and the oldest child. The oldest child of Shane McMahon's kid was like, no, You not talk to me like that. They were straight just barking, like going at it like two adults in the street. So that was funny. But while everything was said and done, Daniel Bryan was able to recuperate and help out Shane McMahon throughout this match, and he was able to beat Sami Zayn by submission. Because Sami Zayn was like, and he was just like, I can't, I'm done. So I'm like, oh, you're fired. You gotta go. So then now, everything's said and done. Daniel Bryan was like, everybody was excited that he won. And then all of a sudden you see Brie walking down from the audience, hug him, give him a kiss, and then he goes about his business. So that match was awesome. Now, whereas we have Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, this was like on some Mean Girls mess. Whereas Alexa Bliss was like picking on Nia Jax, saying that, body shaming her, like she looks like Shrek, she's not pretty, she's like a loser, and whereas Nia Jax thought Alexa Bliss was a friend, and it was a hot mess, like for her to hear her say that, she got pissed and she got in her feelings. And whereas Nia Jax mentioned that she was picked on, she was body shamed, for how she looked. And I'm sorry, but Nia Jax is a beautiful woman. She is a beautiful woman. So and I mean, I get where she's coming from, because I'm going to admit, like, growing up, I never thought I was pretty. I'm going to put this out there to my fans, my YouTubers, whoever's watching. I never thought I was pretty. Never. Ever thought I was pretty. I used to always believe, like, all the beauty stuff will stop at my sister. All the girly stuff will stop at my sister. So, whereas I never got into a situation I was body shamed, but I was in a situation where I was very insecure how I looked. So, but I never showed it. I just hid it. So I got where Nia Jax was coming from. In addition, throughout that match, Alexa Bliss was trying to fight dirty. But before that match even started, let's go ahead and talk about how Nia Jax's wardrobe looked. It was pretty. Whoever did her makeup was very pretty, like the highlights. And because I look at people's appearances when it comes to wrestling. I look at their appearances. Her appearance was very like, I am woman, like I'm an Amazon. Like whoever did her makeup, it gave me like, whoever customized that clothing gave me like, it was pretty. But she was smart though. Nia Jax was smart. She took one look at Mickie James and said, oh no bitch, you are not going to cost me this title. She beat the mess out of her. And mind you, Mickie James was looking cute as if she was going to go to party after WrestleMania. I guess after the way Nia Jax beat her down, and you have officials coming, oh, she's not going nowhere. So Alexa Bliss looked shook, so she had to try everything in her power to either thumb her in the eye or kick her in her leg, like do something, and it backfired. Nia Jax gave her the Samoa drop from the top rope. I said, oh my God, she is done. Do not kick out. Stay down. 1, 2, 3. You got a new women's world champion, and that is Nia Jax. So big props to her of that nature, and hope that'll be best for her more in the future in WWE. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this 4-way U.S. title match. First and foremost, I thought Bobby Roode was going to get it, the glorious one. Come to find out, it ended up being Jinder Mahal all this time. And Jinder Mahal, he did his classic move, and he got the serious 1, 2, 3. What was crazy though is like where they have Rusev there, you figure, okay, Rusev probably win because of the whole Rusev deck. And for what I heard, the merchandise has sold a lot. So I guess they didn't pull through for Rusev, but I know Rusev is gonna probably get another title shot. So congrats to Jinder Mahal of that nature for winning of the US title. Now when we go on to the SmackDown tag titles on the line. I'm sorry, I know the day I went to Legends Bar, Rikishi was there, so I know he was probably watching his sons, the Usos, who were the tag team champions for SmackDown, lose it to the Bludgeon Brothers. I knew deep down in my soul that the Bludgeon Brothers was going to get those tag titles. If anyone saw Fastlane, how they came in and just murked New Day and also the Usos, then I was like, I see tag titles in their future. I don't care if it was too soon or not, but these dudes came in there and Fastlane and shut everything down. And I said, if they get the opportunity to get these tag titles, they're going to win it, and they did. So big props to the Bludgeon Brothers. They didn't have to use those mallets, thank God. In addition, now let's go on to the Raw tag team. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep my composure. The Raw tag team titles. So Braun Strowman won the opportunity to go for the Raw tag team titles. But like Kurt Angle said, you have to get a partner. This man went in the audience and got some child. The boy name was Nicholas. Got the child. Sheamus is I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So then Braun Strowman was holding his own, and then Nicholas is like, tag me. He got tagged in. Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. He stood there looking like a deer caught in headlights and was like, okay, never mind, we're just playing. Tag back Braun Strowman, and they end up winning the tag titles. So we're going to see what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw, if they're going to let them keep it or not. Now, the last match we want to go ahead and discuss, I don't know, that match was weird, with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Like, Roman Reigns held his own, and then he started bleeding. You know, Brock Lesnar giving this dude F5s, Super City, say Super City bitch, you know, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Roman Reigns lost. And this was shocking to me because I thought Roman Reigns was going to win for the sake of the fact that, you know, Brock Lesnar was going back to UFC. But for what I gathered is that they're trying to make Brock Lesnar beat CM Punk's reign of a title. They're trying to erase the man. They're trying to delete, you know, CM Punk as much as they can. So, throughout the overall of, you know, of WrestleMania 34, even though Becky Lynch was missing a couple of smoke, some of the smoke went to either, let's see, there wasn't even that much pyro. Majority of smoke went to either Ronda Rousey's entrance, Undertaker's entrance. Then you have the pyro went to Kurt Angle just a little bit. Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar's entrance. And then the pyro went to also when they did like the attendance for how many people attended WrestleMania. It was a lot. So now we know where all the pyro and smoke went. Mystery solved. Till then, this is your girl, Lala, from Lala's World. And also, thank you for being patient with my voice. Like I said, my voice was halfway going in and out because of the excitement that happened when I went to Legends Ball for WrestleMania. Till then, I'll see you next time. Bye! I forgot to mention, and I do apologize to my lovely fans. The AJ Styles and Nakamura match, that was the match that everybody was saying it's the dream match, and which I can say because I never seen them go at it before, but probably to a lot of people in their eyes it's not a dream match because they probably seen it before. But if it's somebody like me that I never seen him go at it before, my 4 eyes, that's a dream match. So with that match went very well. I would say, like, everybody, you know, AJ Styles and Nakamura gave it all they got, and nobody wasn't backing down. But by the end of the day, AJ Styles won. However, how it ended though was, yeah, AJ Styles won, but Nakamura was kind of upset. And now you know, whereas in in my eyes, and I know everybody else saw it, I think Nakamura's going to turn heel. And this feud is not over. So, again, bye.